Yes, YouTube! Welcome back to another video. Now today, I'm back out on the E-180 weapon. Now Bosch have just brought out a new update for the e-bikes. One that this bike doesn't actually have yet, but will do pretty soon, so wait around for that. And I'm here to put it to the test and see how good it really actually is. I've come to my local trails today so that I can really test this update on somewhere I'm familiar with, somewhere that I've ridden lots and lots of times. So I'm going to go up a couple of different hills today, a couple of different challenges, things that I can think of on the e-bike to put it through its paces, because more power is not always necessarily the best options. Let's get into it. This is going to be our first challenge. So it's a small hill. Well, it will look small on camera. It's quite large. It's really, really nasty on a normal bike, but on an e-bike, of course, not half as nasty. So we've got this hill behind us. It plateaus, and then we've got a second hill. This is going to be our start line, the trusty old stick. I've got my GoPro, so I'm going to do some timing. So like I said, first challenge will be how fast can we get up to the top of this hill. Right then, here we go. As you can see there, it says update ready to install. We're not going to do that just yet. We're going to wait, keep it as it is for the moment. So into turbo, make sure that everything is turned up, assistance higher, dynamic, we'll keep that on +3 because that is way too powerful on full. And here is the main one. So at the minute, look, you can see we've got 85 Newton meters of torque. After we've done the update, hopefully that will say 100 Newton meters. But like I said, we're going to do a back-to-back testing of the two. For the moment, we're going to keep with it on 85 and attack this first climb. Right then, here we go. What an absolute weapon. I enjoy riding it an awful lot. So let's spin around, get myself to the all-important start line. Right, we'll go front wheel on the start line. Again, we're going to do some very, very accurate timing with the GoPro. So I won't actually know until I get back home. So we'll count myself down. 3, 2, 1, go. So I'm going to try and keep the effort relatively similar on both times. I'm not going to try and put too much power through the legs. I'm going to try and let the bike do a lot of the work to see how much faster or slower this update really is. Oh, fallen tree. So it plateaus out now, and then it kicks again. It will probably all look very flat on camera, of course, but I can assure you it's actually quite steep and very, very difficult to get up on a normal bike. So into the second bit of a steep hill now, and this is where it gets pretty spicy. It's very loose, hard to keep traction, but the bit of rain we've had, whoa, has made it an awful lot better. Not far off the top now. And I'm going to put the finish line just as we get to this end. Boom, there we go. Oh, first little test done, and it was okay. It's always nice to get out of breath a little bit on an e-bike. Doesn't happen too often, so when it does happen, it's always nice. Challenge number 2 coming up. So we've arrived at our next challenge. So riding uphill on an e-bike is incredibly fun, but I think we can all agree that the downhill bit is the bit that we enjoy the most. So it's okay putting this update to the test up the uphills, but if it's too good and too powerful down the downhills, then it's not going to be for everyone. So this second challenge is a downhill challenge. It's a flatter track, which requires a fair bit of pedaling. And on the couple of times that I've ridden this before, the bike hasn't quite had enough oomph to just get me going as quick as what I want to. So first time down the track will be without the update, and then we will come back up, get our bike updated, and then have a go down again with the update and see what the difference is. Here we go. So I'm going to start myself on this route. The glasses have had to come off because unfortunately it is absolutely pouring down, which is always nice. It's going to make it interesting. So challenge number 2, downhill challenge with some pedaling in between. So this is one of our tighter trails up the chase, a little bit flatter, which means the e-bike comes into its own out of the turns, etc. Just like there, where you can just get a little pedaling, but it does seem like the motor almost tops out. Just like that, little bit of a pedal. Now I'm going to try and keep the effort relatively similar, do the same kind of lines so that it's a fair test, instead of just trying to go really fast. I'm just going to cruise on down. Now this is tight, big pedal, big pedal. And it'll be interesting to see if the bike is actually, if the motor is actually gives you any more assistance. A few little options to get the pedaling. Oh, 180 mil of travel, taking that like an absolute champ. So that's our first two challenges done, and now I'm going to log on to the Bosch app and get this update rolling. So apparently you actually can do the update while you're out on the trail. As long as you're stationary, you can actually do the update out on the trail. Now I thought it gave us 100 Newton meters of torque over 85, and I was actually wrong. What it does is take the max power from 600 up to 750. So when I said earlier about 85 to 100, I was actually wrong. What it actually does is gives us some more power. Now I've just started to download the update onto my bike, and it says it's going to take 4 minutes for it to do. So we're going to put that to the test. I'm going to start the e-bike now, start the update, and see how long it takes to actually do the update. So here we go, start update. There we go, my e-bike has turned off and it started flashing at me. So I'll catch back in with you hopefully in 4 minutes time with an updated e-bike. I was wrong. It's actually taken 3 minutes and 34 seconds. So Bosch, you've outdone yourselves with a 4 minute update. It was actually 20 odd seconds quicker than that. And now I'm fully updated, so we can see here I've got the update. I can now go into turbo, because obviously there's only one mode for an e-bike. I'm going to keep all of this stuff the same, but what I'm going to do is turn the max power from 600 right up to 750. So now we've got that peak power at 750 rather than 600, and we are back at challenge number 1. So we're going to see what this update really is about. Is it better? Is it worse? There's only one way to find out. Let's get up the hill. Back at the bottom on our trusty start line. I'm going to start in the same gear again. Off we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, that was a slow start. I think the e-bike was still asleep. Wow. I mean, I'm not sure if this is placebo, but the bike feels so much faster straight out of the start. I mean, that is probably because we've added a whole 150 watts. Wow, this feels quick. So again, just allowing the motor to do what it wants to, but we're doing 11.5 miles an hour, and in all fairness, the bike feels like it's travelling much faster. Here we go, into this second little bit of a kick. Now this is where the bike normally struggles, so it'll be interesting on some fresh rain on the stones. Oh wow, it's taking it like an absolute champ. Normally it feels quite sluggish and slow up here. That is definitely not the case. I'm actually struggling to keep up with my legs. Boom, there we go, back to the top. Now I'm not sure if that was placebo because I've just done the update, but that did genuinely feel much faster. It'll be interesting now to have a look at the GoPro footage and see how much faster or slower or similar it actually was. Right then, run number 2 of challenge number 2 on our downhill stage. So starting at the same spot, and then we're gonna head on in just like we did last time. See, straight, whoa, okay, that is definitely faster straight out of the start. I was not expecting that whatsoever. I feel like here I'm carrying much more Oh, and out of that corner. Oh, I don't know. I don't actually know if it's a little bit too fast, maybe. Out of the turns, it's giving me much more speed than what I'm normally used to the bike giving me. Now, I feel like I'm coming into this section quite a bit fast. Whoa, yeah, this is definitely, I'm not saying that the run is quicker, but it definitely gives me a little bit more power on the pedals that I'm not quite used to actually. It's sending me faster into stuff that I would normally go. Big holes again, and then we'll put our finish line just at that tree. So it's back to the van now. I'm going to head back and see, review the footage, have a look and see what the final verdict is. So then the results are in. I've just had a look on my GoPro, and on the first hill climb, the first challenge, I did a 1:16 without the update, and then on the second run with the update it was a 1:10, so 6 seconds faster over a really short stage period, whatever you want to call it. Only over a minute is a long time, so it just shows that the bike is actually a lot faster with the new update. Gives you more power, and to be honest, I could feel that. It felt like the bike was accelerating much faster. Little bit slower off the start, but I think that was probably because I was in the wrong gear, but then as I got going it was much quicker. So onto the downhill stage. The first run was a 1:10, and then the second run was a 1:09, and to be honest, I didn't really feel like it had too much of an impact on the downhill. It was definitely faster at the start, and I also struggled to get my head around it out of the corners because it was giving me much more power. I didn't think it would make too much difference, but I was wrong. It did actually make a big difference. So if you can and you've got the option, then do the update because it's clearly better, it's faster. But I just wanted to get out on my bike and test it myself. I've heard lots of people doing it and saying it was really good, but I wanted to come out here, ride my own bike and test it for myself, see how good it actually is. So if you've got the chance, definitely do the update. More power. I suppose the only downside is your battery isn't going to last as long, but definitely gives you that nice extra power when you're in turbo. Bit of a different video today. Not my usual riding videos, but they will be back soon, don't you worry. And as always, if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop it a like. Again, if you've got an e-bike, can do the update, etc., let me know in the comments below. I want to hear your stories about e-bikes, if you love them, hate them, etc. I'm a big lover. I think they're great. They've got a place for everything. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So drop the video a like, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one.